Hello my fellow boxing enthusiasts. Most of you will probably say that I'm too quick by making this video of Tyson Fury versus Oleksandr Usyk for the Undisputed Heavyweight Championship of the world. And yes, Usyk still needs to beat Joshua in the rematch, and Fury will probably have to beat another mandatory in the meantime, potentially the body snatcher himself, Dillian Whyte, before he gets the winner of the Anthony Joshua versus Oleksandr Usyk fight. But I am convinced that Oleksandr Usyk will not only repeat his victory over Anthony Joshua, but he will do so by stopping AJ by devastating TKO. If you seem surprised by this, then you should probably check out my detailed Usyk versus Joshua rematch prediction video. It will make things more clear for you then for sure. I am also very certain that Tyson Fury will beat any man put up against him before the Usyk fight. It's been 22 years since we've had an undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. It's about time we get that matchup, and the time couldn't be better. How rare it has become over the past 20 years to get actual fights we as boxing fans actually would like to see.
That don't make no sense.
You're goddamn right.
To this day. Because Oleksandr Usyk versus Tyson Fury for the Undisputed Heavyweight Championship of the world will be the fight of the decade, let alone the 21st century. David versus Goliath, two men who are at the peak of their craft, two absolute masters of the great sport of boxing. And why are we getting such a fight in the future? Because boxing promoters like Eddie Hearn don't have anything to do with it.
I'm just sat here thinking, isn't it marvellous that the world's biggest fight is going to happen, and that smug little tosser Eddie Hearn has nothing to do with it at all. He has nothing to do with the world's biggest fight, or his little puppet on a string, the fighter he's got. They're not involved in the biggest fight the world has ever seen.
I like it, Knock it down, like, don't worry about that.
Keep sucking Canelo off. You little sausage.
So Joshua's got about as much brains as in that bag of fucking washing there. He don't do shit, does he?
Eddie Hearn is a bitch.
I've danced it. Yeah, I know.
Isn't it marvellous that this fight's going to happen? And little Eddie ain't got nothing to do with it. He is boiling. Tosser! I think Matchroom Boxing and Eddie Hearn are absolute wankers.
Fuck you, Eddie!
Silence! I can't take this shit no more. Now, you done talked about me enough, boy.
That's why this fight will happen sooner than later. And you know why? Because it's not just about business. Now, I'm not denying that Fury and Usyk want to make as much money as possible, which they should. I mean, they're putting their health and lives at risk every time they step through the ropes in the ring, but you also can't deny that even more than wanting that big payday, these two guys want to prove that they are the best boxer on the planet. Their belief and pride are far greater than their ambition to make a lot of cash.
There's not a man born from his mother can beat Tyson Fury.
I'm Phil. I'm very Phil.
And that's why I am already super hyped for this fight. Boxing needs this. Promoters who never boxed in their life and are keeping fighters away from each other just to ensure one stays on top longer to make more money in the long run is wrong.
You're a piece of shit.
Greed sucks and it's disgusting.
Slithered out on your mother's filth.
Who will win when Fury faces off against Usyk, and who becomes the first undisputed heavyweight champion in the world in over 22 years? It sure is difficult to be 100% certain on this one, but what I am certain of is that it ain't gonna be the golden goose himself, Anthony Joshua.
Oh, Anthony. Hello, how are you, Anthony?
Stick around to find out, and I will catch you on the counterpunch.
This guy's a friggin' animal!
I always tell the truth. Even when I lie.
Of course, to start this off, another quick Anthony Joshua rant. Now I know that many people have accused me in the past for being obsessed with Anthony Joshua, and that really couldn't be further from the truth. All I have been doing is pointing out what a fraud he truly is, which yeah, I'm the only YouTuber to this day to do so. I'm not saying he's a bad guy, I'm just saying he is bad for boxing. Now I'm not gonna talk about this stuff I've already stated in my other videos, but something new has happened in the boxing world which makes me just have to mention him being fake again, and something that proved me right. Do you know that a great tragedy has recently happened in the amateur world of boxing? Boxing as a sport will most likely not be taught anymore at the 2028 Olympic Games.
Oh, great Scott! Fuck! Fuck, motherfucker! Motherfucker! You know how fucking stupid you fucking are! No!
And you know why? It's due to corruption. Now everyone who supports Anthony Joshua for bringing heavyweight boxing back to life when he faced Vladimir Klitschko back in 2016 are correct. AJ did in fact bring life back into the heavyweight division. Credit needs to be given where credit is due, but the amount of gratitude one could show towards AJ for this fight is equally as great as the amount of guilt AJ holds within himself for winning due to corruption at the finals of the London 2012 Olympic Games.
No way.
No.
But we're going back to the raw, rugged streets. That's where I belong. I never followed no athletes growing up, no movie stars. I followed the hustlers.
He ain't the brains of Britain, Joshua, is he? Yeah, man. Stay humble, yo. You keep it real, man. I'm a gangster, me, trying to be a good man. So what? He's got no brains. I could fit his brains in my boot there. Zero.
As I've said, he has been favored since the beginning. You think it's a coincidence that from out of nowhere, a big athletic boxer wins the 2012 Olympic finals at heavyweight and gets right into the pro ranks? A good-looking, marketable guy? In a time where heavyweight boxing was considered boring and dead. That's why Anthony Joshua was favored and won the 2012 Olympic finals. Don't believe me, AJ fanboys? Go watch that fight yourself.
Very, very close. Very close indeed, but just look at the response in the Italian's corner.
Anthony Joshua did not deserve his gold medal victory in 2012. Usyk, on the other hand, surely deserved his victory, and karma hit Anthony Joshua by sending him down the path he is walking right now. And what a coincidence that at the same Olympic Games 2012 in London, Usyk won the gold medal at cruiserweight on the same day that Anthony Joshua won at heavyweight, against the same team from Italy, with the same trainer. And look at the direct comparison of the teams, immediate reaction of the opponent after Usyk just beat their own boxer. I mean, Usyk was congratulated and even hugged by the opponent's team and coach because they knew he had won fair and square. Now, on the other hand, look at the same team's reaction after the final bell during the finals when their boxer fought Anthony Joshua. I mean, these are facts. Need I say more? I'm not making stuff up. The truth hurts.
You can't handle the truth!
So many people have said that Deontay Wilder is an idiot for saying that he wants to murder a guy in the ring.
Nah, I want a body on my record. I want one.
Which, yes, I ain't debating it. He is an idiot for saying that.
Oh, most definitely, you know.
But why now? Don't these same people say the same about Anthony Joshua, even though he said the same damn thing in his last interview?
I have one thing in my mind. That's war. That's murder. That's murder.
See guys, this isn't just me creating conspiracy theories. I'm not making this stuff up. AJ said these things himself, and you damn fanboys are too blind to see it. Blinded with your love for another man.
Ha! Gay!
It's a sin that boxing will probably be cancelled from participating as a sport at the 2028 Olympic Games. Boxing is a sport that has been longer in history engraved on this earth than soccer. Boxing needs saving. That is the main reason I make boxing videos. We need old school boxing back, and we need to get rid of managers and promoters who know more about shuffling cash than to throw a damn jab. Subscribe and become part of the movement to bring old school boxing back.
Yes, I can! Yes, I can!
Finally,
We get to the main topic of this video. Oleksandr Usyk versus Tyson Fury. Batman versus Joker. What two legends these two guys already are. One thing is for sure, we will be getting crazy dance battles at the weigh-in. Guys, this is gonna be so entertaining and necessary for the great sport of boxing. One of the most important fights of the century is right on our doorstep. Now remember what all the doubters said when Usyk faced Anthony Joshua? They said he's good, but he's just too small. AJ will run Usyk over with his mass, size, and power. Well, the same people are saying the same thing when it comes to the fight with Tyson Fury. What does Usyk have to do to get the recognition he deserves, for Christ's sake? If you are a person to just write off a boxer like Usyk because he weighs less and is smaller, then you are a fool. This ain't sumo wrestling we talking about. We are talking about boxing, and last I checked, the best heavyweight boxer on the planet is Oleksandr Usyk. Now, I am just speaking about boxing skills. Take notice. Usyk has the best boxing skills of any heavyweight. However, that doesn't mean he will just easily beat Fury like he did Anthony Joshua. Fury will be a much greater opponent. With Fury's unconventional style and immense wingspan, he will make it a lot more difficult for Usyk to get into the mid-range like he did with Anthony Joshua. I believe the approach, however, will be the same, but Usyk won't be targeting for Fury's head as much. He's too tall and his head is way too small and he moves way too well. So I am expecting a lot of body work early on. Cut the tree down from the bottom, so to speak. And if Usyk is able to do so and capitalize on the moments Fury's body is open, then he will have Fury's number later on if this fight goes into deep waters. If Usyk can do this, then he will get a point decision. The first time Fury is going to be in a fight in which he isn't the better boxer skill-wise. And don't forget, Usyk is a southpaw, which makes it more difficult for any orthodox fighter to adjust their stance and footwork. But we are talking about the two best heavyweights on the planet, so their ability to adjust will be at its peak. But who could Fury have in his training camp to prepare him for an opponent like Oleksandr Usyk? Nobody. Nobody is on the level of Usyk's ring IQ and skill set, especially no southpaw. Now, Fury could win by wearing down Usyk like he did to Wilder in his second fight. The amount of weight Fury carries and can use to his advantage leaning on his opponent during the clinch is literally breathtaking. He has the ability to just smother his opposition.
A bigger man who every time they get to the inside is leaning on him. 273 pounds. And again, just leaning down with all that weight. It's taxing, it's draining.
But I don't expect this sort of fight from Fury. He had to do so gameplay-wise against Wilder in their second bout because, let's be totally honest, you got to find a way to stay away from such unnatural, immense power. If God blessed Wilder with a right hand, then God blessed Fury with the ability to clinch, lean, and smother with God's given mass. Usyk, Fury, however, I think we're going to get a real boxing fight. Both guys wanting to prove that they have the best skills and biggest heart. People who say that Fury will win easy by knockout are delusional, even though it can happen, but it does seem Fury has more power since his last fight. It still isn't lights out one-punch knockout power. I mean, in his trilogy fight with Deontay Wilder, you can see him land over 20 power punches and Wilder still kept getting up, even though those punches landed flush and Wilder was gassed and showed no way of defending himself. So a one-punch knockout is not going to happen in this fight. It will be a question of whether Fury's stamina is good enough to stand toe-to-toe for 12 rounds with Usyk, and if Usyk can get on the inside and bring the power to the body. And to everyone saying that this is going to be a boring fight, well, let me tell you something. We will see the best Tyson Fury versus the best Oleksandr Usyk, and you know why we're going to see the best? Because up to this point in their careers, they have never been pushed to their limit to be able to show their true talent. Both these guys are way better boxers than we have even seen to this day. Trust me on that. This one is going to be an instant classic. And both guys will bring out the best in each other. Don't underestimate Usyk and don't overestimate Fury. Fury has never faced an opponent who has the work rate and stamina like Oleksandr Usyk, not to mention his ring IQ and skill set. Now, who do I predict to win? To be totally honest, I don't care as much who wins this fight because at the end of the day, this fight even happening is a victory for boxing and a victory against the corruption in this sport. I do believe that Usyk will get a point decision win, which I hope he does because I believe if Fury wins, then Fury might retire and that would be a shame. If Usyk loses, however, I believe he might go down to cruiserweight again and face Canelo for a $200 million purse. That is, of course, if Canelo wins his first upcoming fight at cruiserweight. So either way, as I've said, and as you can clearly see, boxing is alive and boxing wins, and the future is looking ever so bright at this moment in time for professional heavyweight boxing. My thoughts go out to all amateur boxers who are busting their asses day in and day out to be able to make it to the Olympics 2028 and now can't due to fucking corruption.
First, take a big step back and literally fuck your own face!
Even if you are just a casual fan, you should be able to imagine the hardship and frustration of such upcoming talent and future champions. Boxing needs you more than ever, so keep watching boxing content on YouTube. Join a boxing gym. Live this sport because it is the greatest sport ever, and the world would be a better place if everyone just boxed. Boxing unites us, and united we stand. I will hit you on a counterpunch, my fellow boxing enthusiasts.
So say good night to the bad guy. The last time you're gonna see a bad guy like this again.